So maybe there's something I could pick up.
A chest locked with a 4-letter code. Surely a word close to the owner's heart.
Final note? Leave it. I'll leave that.
The Sorrows of Young Werther. There's a handwritten text signed by von Werner on this first page. Dear Elizabeth, I know that this book is but a small token compared to the delightful moments you gave me, but I hope that this will nonetheless keep the memory alive. Your ever-obedient servant. So, Volner had a relationship with Elizabeth. But that's hardly surprising given his fondness for the occult. A table of alchemical symbols. Someone circled the zinc symbol.
Zinc.
A chest locked with a 4-letter code. Surely a word close to the owner's heart.
Easy. Theranium cesium. Diachum cesium. Occultism. This is the book.
The signs of obscurantism. The alchemist is a young man. Carmelite water. The signs of the zodiac. The alchemist is an old man.
That was fun. I gotta talk to you. There's something to know. Oh, okay, your time. Your time. Hurry, hurry.
A Chinese coin, recognizable by the hole in the middle. If I remember rightly,
What can I do for you,
cash.
Richet?
Monsieur, Lord Mortimer has appointed me to investigate the tragedy that befell us last night.
Oh, yes. It's horrible.
You're
Yes.
serving for
How can I
Elizabeth.
help, monsieur?
Did you see how many tattoos Miss Adams had on her?
Of course. Who wouldn't have noticed?
Yes, but I'm sure that an expert like yourself must have an opinion on the subject.
I do. She was seeking to imprison something inside her. Her own body had become a sort of prison.
She wanted to protect herself, is that what you're saying?
Elizabeth was a flame, a candle in the night. And like all candles in the night, she was surrounded by darkness, by her demons, call it what you will. One thing is for sure. She struggled against hell and high water not to let her flame go out.
Alright then.
Excuse me for asking, but did you know Miss Adams?
Oh, she... not really, to tell the truth. No.
This guy.
I found the Werther dedication, signed by your hand, monsieur. Would you like to change your version now?
Be careful, de Richet. Don't push your luck. My relationship with Miss Adams was pure and has nothing to do with you. Well, continue playing the detective as you see fit. But if I find the bastard who did that to Elizabeth, I will...
Yes! I would have preferred a simple response, but I see I have my answer now.
How deeply he was connected to her. Do you love her?
Exactly how long had you been seeing her?
I have no reason to answer you.
I see. Is that what you want me to tell Lord Mortimer when he asks what I found out?
It's only been a few weeks.
I get the impression that your romance was over. Am I right?
So,
only been a few weeks.
what does it matter to you? I would never have attacked her, if that's what you're insinuating.
Who put an end to the relationship? You or her?
It was her. It was her. But what does that matter? We both agreed.
Where were you last night?
In my room. I read a few ancient manuscripts before going to bed. But I didn't stay up long. I was tired.
Thank you kindly. We finished. I'll have a look around and then take my leave.
Do whatever you have to do.
So he's a lover for Adam. Talk to everyone except Jock. I haven't gotten to talk to Jock because he locked me out. But I did get to speak to Napoleon about his gun. I got to speak to Emily about the knife. I spoke to George about his boots. I guess I could talk to P.I.G. And more demons you talk.
What a tragedy, my son. How could such a thing have happened?
That's exactly what I'm trying to find out. Did you notice anything out of the ordinary last night?
I saw the young French soldier, Bonaparte, I believe, hanging around near Miss Adams' room. But I would not want to get an innocent man into trouble, Louis. It's probably nothing.
I've come to speak about the findings of the investigation, my lord.
I'm listening, Louis.
Okay, I've clues, but I prefer not to accuse anyone.
Will you remind me of the facts we already know about?
Elizabeth Adams was killed last night, but Piaggi was with Holm and I until late at night. As for Bonaparte and Washington, they left us after midnight, both tired.
It was Bonaparte and Washington. I went to their rooms. P.I.G. Home and Montgomery says...
I'll be in touch as soon as I have any more information.
I'm listening, Louis.
I'm sorry, my lord, but I don't have any evidence conclusive enough to allow me to name the culprit with certitude.
Really?
Ridoko. You gain 1 point. You found all the clues and explode all the... Oh, I found all the clues. Okay.
I see. Well, that's your decision, Louis, and I accept it.
What was
Given
that?
the
What is that?
distinguished guests and the sensitive political issues involved at the conference, I trust you'll leave me to conclude the case in my own way.
What?
Right.
No.
It's time we spoke about your mother, Louis.
She isn't missing, you know.
What? What do you mean?
My mother has left traces in every nook and cranny of your island, my lord. She's definitely here. Now, what worries me most is why she doesn't show herself.
That doesn't make me feel any better, Louis.
What was the official reason why my mother came to your island?
I knew about your mother's activities, and yours, in the Golden Order. I thought we had everything to gain by working together.
You mean the canon deal with Monsieur Bonaparte?
Among others, yes. How did you hear about that?
Monsieur Bonaparte came to speak to me about it yesterday, during lunch.
I see. So impetuous. He was supposed to let me speak to you about it first. Our friend Napoleon desperately needed financial backing to properly equip his army. I took it upon myself to back him because I have a firm conviction that he can go far.
We shall see. However, there's one thing that surprises me.
What happened, Lieutenant? He sees them and
Did my mother intend to finance a war? I'm not sure that I follow.
No, your mother's aim was not so much to partake in a war, but rather to make Monsieur Bonaparte accountable. France is in turmoil, and having support of a military man can often come in handy, Louis. You'll see. Once this deal was closed, I had big plans for Sarah.
Such as what?
You see, I've invited several influential figures on my island to present them with a project at the conference. It will be presented later today. I thought that the Golden Order had a role to play. And I still think so. I was hoping Sarah would be able to join us.
I see.
Indeed, if by chance your mother decided not to return to us before the conference, would you do me the great honor of attending? If only to follow the deliberations while waiting for her to duly take her seat.
Why not? We shall see.
Thank you so much. In this way, you'll be able to keep your mother informed of what is said. There's something else I'd like to briefly go over. Earlier, you asked me the official reason for your mother's presence here.
I did.
Is there
what
an
she said.
off-the-record reason why your mother came here?
If only my mother trusted me, but she remained very mysterious. I'd have been delighted to answer your question.
Is this usual for her?
As head of the Order, secrets are her bread and butter, as you can imagine. That said, it's the first time she hasn't let me in on the reason for her trip. And it intrigues me, to tell you the truth.
Well, I'm sure that Sarah will explain everything once she reappears. There's something I still don't get. In your opinion, why would your mother remain in hiding over several weeks?
Maybe she's worried of someone. She might discover something. Maybe she's lost her mind. She would never lose her mind. She's too composed with that. But she's also thinking about plots and schemes. So she might have discovered something that someone found out. I would say that
Maybe she found something out.
What do you mean?
My mother has a gift for investigating. If she had picked up a lead, nothing would have stopped her.
The only thing I can tell you is that Sarah had indeed changed. At the beginning of her stay here, we enjoyed spending time together, solving the world's problems.
Enough about her. What of her disappearance? What did
You
speak
seem to
about?
know my mother very well, my lord. What did you talk about together?
Oh, as soon as we had a little free time, we liked to share points of view about practically any subject. We would find ourselves embarked on interminable discussions that could go from Monsieur Blanchard's flight in a hot air balloon to the Treaty of Jassy, or the adoption of the metric system in France last year, or even Mr. Eli Whitney's invention in the United States.
Can't mention any of those, but that would have been easy for him, apparently. Not me.
My mother must have undoubtedly taken great pleasure in these exchanges. She always was one to appreciate broadening her knowledge. I'm surprised she didn't get you started on the Crusades. It was her favorite subject.
Are you joking? Sarah and I spent entire days together reliving them. It so happens that the Crusades are also my subject of predilection, especially the third. My ancestor distinguished himself brilliantly during the siege of Saint-Jean d'Acre.
Why would he mention that? I don't know.
Unfortunately, my lord, the Crusades are not my chosen field.
Well, it doesn't matter. You have plenty of time to learn.
I do.
Your
Well,
mother
try to
is
get
a very well-read woman. You're quite lucky to have her as a model, Louis.
Yes, I know, but I'm still very worried.
I must admit, there are worse things to worry about now, Louis.
What do you mean?
Edge. The way he looked in the
Since she
camera with his
disappeared,
eyes.
your mother has been seen once. Her behavior on the evening of your arrival greatly surprised Gregory and myself. She resurfaced to attack Emma, Emily Hillsborough's twin sister,
That vision I saw.
and she shot her with a pistol. Then, before Gregory could intervene, she ran off and disappeared again.
I beg your pardon? Hang on.
She killed Emma.
That means my vision on the wharf, it was actually happening inside the manor. Mother shot Emily's sister? The very person she came looking for? Why would she do that? Excuse me. But between that and the childhood of Lady Adams, it's all a bit much for me to cope with. I need to piece it all together again to see things more clearly. You said that you spent a lot of time talking together at the beginning. What happened for that to change?
I'm afraid I haven't much to tell you. The more the days went by, the more she withdrew into herself. She never gave me an explanation. Until the day came when she purely and simply disappeared.
Where did she go when she wanted to be alone?
She would shut herself away in a room we use as a box room upstairs.
Upstairs?
Would you allow me to go there?
Naturally, Louis, of course. I'll send you a servant to open it.
Thank you.
That's all I can tell you about the disappearance of your mother, Louis. I would like to have been more helpful.
I shall stay on her trail and follow up any leads.
Thank you. We will meet later on to welcome our last guest. In the meantime, I shall get someone to open the box room upstairs for you.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
I could have answered all of those questions. I could have answered something
It
with
was just
this,
opposite Mortimer's study.
but it's locked. Go to the tower room. You know, if it were only a little bit simpler, I don't know where I'm supposed to go. Why isn't Piaget's room? Where am I supposed to go? What? What? What the hell? Where am I? Huh? Huh? Oh, okay.
There are burnt papers in the chimney.
Can I read that?
There's a legible fragment left. Hey, I recognize my mother's handwriting. She says, we must find a safer way to communicate. Someone is on to us. Trust in my faith in the man with the sword. So Mother had an accomplice here. Who could it be? Who could she
Just the
be
man
suspicious of?
Of the sword.
I must find the next part. Faith, sword. I recognize her love of riddles there. Great. Honey.
Dante's Paradise.
Raise your head and be reassured.
What
For
the
what
hell?
comes up here from the mortal world must ripen in our rays.
Alright.
What is this disc?
I'm digging a disc. A round magnet.
St. Paul on the road to Damascus by Caravaggio. Caravaggio attained a magnificent command of black and the play of colors too. Paul facing an ordeal, the curtains of his illusions being raised, and receives the light from his Savior.
I'm gonna use it.
A fierce opponent of the first Christians, St. Paul is suddenly struck by the call of Jesus Christ and converts. It's the best known conversion in Christian history, which teaches us that even enemies of Christ can be saved, and even become his greatest apostles after finding faith. From what I can recall, the account of his conversion can be found in the epistles to the Galatians, the Philippians, the Corinthians, and the Acts of the Apostles.
Nah, it's subterfuge.
The door appears to be locked on the other side.
Open it.
I think I heard something fall to the ground. A metallic sound, like a key falling to the floor.
How do you open it? Force the door open, pick the lock, use the disc.
I'll see if it works.
Nice.
It's open.
Yeah, obviously. Another painting.
St. Paul painted by Guido Reni.
Another
St. Paul is shown holding a sword.
Yeah.
Strange. There's hardly any dust, as if the painting's been cleaned recently. There's a small inscription engraved on the frame. Let's take a closer look. This is how Paul spoke to his pilgrims from Rome. Just above that, someone's written down the figure 11 on the painting and underlined it twice. No, what does that mean?
So find something with 11. Think about the secret code. Sum up the information. Jelly.
A chest with the occult symbol representing air.
Yeah,
A drawing of the Apostle Matthew, painted by Guido Reni. He's represented as writing the word of the Lord, transmitted by the Holy Spirit, who appears here in the guise of an angel. The New Testament.
I'm not reading all of that.
This book is incredibly precious. I believe this is the book my mother referred to when calling upon the Lord.
This book is famous.
A volume of the Gutenberg Bible. Then they suborned men, which said, "We have heard him speak blasphemous words against Moses and against God."
What? I guess I didn't do shit. It's St. Paul. Pilgrims. From Rome?
I say then,
Underlined
have they
twice.
stumbled that they should fall? God forbid, but rather through their fall, salvation is come unto the Gentiles, for to provoke them to jealousy. Oh, wait. A note from Mother is carefully folded between the pages here. What does it say? Dear E, I'm glad you found this note. I was afraid the code of the two groups of pilgrims would mislead you. Pick up the package. You know where, and hide it where no one will find it. It's imperative. Awaiting your reply, hidden behind the youngest apostle. What? The youngest apostle? What does Mother mean by that?
I don't know the apostles. Okay, I will come back to that after. He doesn't have a beard. Scrutinize the frame.
St. John is the only apostle painted in this gallery who hasn't got a beard. Hey, wait! That means it's him. He's the youngest apostle. Right. This painting is therefore associated with the answer which E had to give to my mother.
Emma?
Now,
Emily?
I just
Elizabeth?
need to know how to recover the answer.
I scrutinized in the frame.
It's St. John, painted by Guido Reni. Several portraits of apostles, all signed by Guido Reni. It looks like someone touched this commode recently. There are fingerprints on the sheets and in the dust.
Okay. Oh, and I'll just make an observation. I'm not gonna do something about it. Inspect the surroundings. Look at the frame. Observe the painting. But there's no reason why I would need to do that. If I've already figured out that it's that painting, I'm gonna look at this one at least.
There's nothing worth noticing here. Painting of St. Mark from the collection of the apostles by Guido Reni.
So that's all he makes.
There are finger marks, deliberately drawn in the dust. 8 in all. Little characters are engraved on the chest of drawers under the urn. It's a sentence in Hebrew. It says, count in the dust.
8?
All right, let's do it. No, nothing of value here.
Counting the dust.
It's too cumbersome for me to unhook here, but judging by the dust, it hasn't been moved for months, if not years. Little characters are engraved on the chest of drawers under the urn. It's a sentence in Hebrew.
Ah! I didn't mean to use it. I didn't want to waste.
Deliberately drawn in the dust. 8 in all. That's what the message in Hebrew spoke about. Hebrew 8.
But this 8 could be one of
Thou
these.
hast put all things under his feet, for in that he put all in subjection under him. He left nothing that is not put under him.
Not that one.
But that which beareth thorns and briars is rejected, and is nigh unto cursing, whose end is to be burned. Here's a message. There are some complications. Indeed, the Prussian is insistent. What's happening at your end? Do you need help? If tonight is not possible, let's say tomorrow evening, in the South Room, where we reviewed the situation. When Paul understood that only the axe counted, he went back on his tracks. I await your confirmation to his left, in the company of the pilgrims that have joined him. Yeah, this last comment is about their code. I should find new pilgrims near Paul.
Yeah, Paul. This isn't St. Paul. This is Is this really St. Paul?
The painting looks like it's been taken down recently. What was it my mother said? That she would wait for an answer hidden behind the apostle. Ah, of course. There's something written behind the painting.
I totally moved it to
On the
C.
second day, the pilgrims will listen to the prophecy of the young apostle. They shall add 1 companion to their left and 3 to their right to complete their rank. What does it mean?
1 to the left and 3 to the right. Think about the figures we mentioned.
On the second day, the pilgrims listened to the prophecy of the young apostle. The prophecy of the young apostle. That was John. And the prophecy mentioned is most likely the book of Revelations according to St. John.
I gotta read them book down. So, with John, this one, no, this one, Revelations to John. One to the right and 3 to the left.
If we say that we have no sin, we deceive ourselves, and the truth is not in us.
No, did not touch anything. Okay, no. I want to go back to this. I want to read this one.
Then they suborned men, which said, we have heard him speak blasphemous words against Moses and
No
against God. There are some complications. Indeed, the Prussian is insistent. What's happening at your end? Do you need help? If tonight is not possible, let's say tomorrow evening, in the South Room, where we reviewed the situation. When Paul understood that only the axe counted, he went back on his tracks. I await your confirmation to his left, in the company of the pilgrims that have joined him. Yeah, this last comment is about their code. I should find new pilgrims near Paul.
Which one is St. Paul? St. Paul's over here. This one's St. Paul.
St. Paul on the road to Damascus by Caravaggio.
Two representations of the same.
St. Paul is the only saint to be presented twice in these paintings, contrary to the other apostles. How come? A Chinese coin. There's something else behind this painting. It says, half of each group will join the first city of Corinth. What the hell does that mean?
Think about the pilgrims. Look at the frame.
St. Paul painted by Guido Reni.
Think about the secret code. I already read that. Some of the information. Two faces of the same saint. He's not an evangelist.
Strange. St. Paul is shown twice, unlike the other disciples. Of the 4 apostles shown in this piece, Paul is the only one who isn't an evangelist. He is the 13th apostle.
So 413. Is that a verse I gotta read? About Book of Revelation. Revelation to John. Corinth.
Because we look not at the things that are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal. Now I pray to God that ye do no evil, not that we should appear approved, but that ye should do that which is honest, for we are as reprobates. Several portraits of apostles.
Can't look at anything else besides that. There was the way. He's not an evangelist. He's put in here twice.
Dante's Paradise.
Raise your head and be reassured, for what comes up here from the mortal world must ripen in our rays.
I wonder why that be there. I already read that Bible page.
A symbol representing air.
I don't got no key. Cannot go outside either. Oh, coin.
I guess I'll just come back later. A drachma. Amber crystals.
Damn it, I thought I found something useful to progress the story. When Paul understood that only acts could be counted, he went back within his tracks and the companies of the pilgrims who joined him. So is there something that I need to read? Acts could be counted.
hereby know that we dwell in him, and he in us, because he hath given us of his
If it was
Spirit.
413, oh my goodness, this is not 413.
Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, and if there be any praise, think on these things.
God damn it.